Unsolicited genius.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Conversations with Carlton. You are being entertained by Natalie Lucas and Akela Renae. Great segment, first round, a lot of politics, America's reality. So now we're going to talk a little sports. For those who watching, this is not Jesus on my mug. This is Tyrion for the Game of Thrones.
Not white Jesus.
Yeah, please
Shout out to Mark Basich, the artist. Mallet, hit me up if you're interested in getting you a Game of Thrones, but he got a little bit of everybody. Game of Thrones, he got athletes. He's an artist. So check him out. Mark
Does he have
Basich.
black Jesus? Does he have black Jesus?
If he don't have it, he could do it. If you don't have it, he could do it.
I might want one of those.
All right, he's talented. I'll connect y'all.
Okay.
All right, with that, we're gonna talk sports. In the news, on Unsolicited Genius, we talked a lot about DeSean Watson and his desire to his attraction to be massaged, to have his body worked on. Talked about the quantity, the ridiculousness of it, but now that he is with a new team, huge contract, Cleveland football will be relying on his skill. I think there's still a question about whether or not, let me say it differently. The NFL is still doing their investigation. Will he, won't he be suspended? And so in that time, since he's been signed, it has been revealed that he has sought massage therapy from 66 women. All none criminal, no criminal charges. Not all 66 are involved in the civil suit. It's also been determined that the Houston Texans provided him with the non-disclosure agreement that he provided to most, if not all, of these women. And so what I want to pose to the two of you is the idea that you have this sexual misbehavior, misconduct that criminally won't be going anywhere. And when it comes to the world of sports, collectively, it's as if we, the fans, the NFL, are wanting to put it all behind us, put it all behind them, so he can get out on the field and ball. But then you got 66. Mm-hmm. So as sports fans, football fans, Natalie, you can even speak to your relationship with football and politics, et cetera. But where does this sit for you all when you hear sexual misbehavior, potentially a sexual predator, with so many efforts, forces trying to get it as far underneath the rug as they can so we can all pretend to move on?
I'm gonna tell you, when I first heard the story, I was like, okay, Houston Texans, this is a conspiracy theory. Y'all are trying to bash this guy because he don't want to play for y'all, right? And then now that it's 66, does that weigh? If it was 60, would it make a difference? If it was 40, would it make a difference? If it was 20, what was the original number? 24, 25, something like that?
20 something, 23, something like that.
Like, does an additional 40 plus more women make a difference? I don't know. I mean, the thing is, only two people know what happened in that room. Mm-hmm. Him and the masseuse. Now, when you say that the Houston Texans gave him an NDA, did they give him an NDA to then use with the masseuse? Anybody he hired? What was
the way I understand it is, we could fact check, but the way it's presented, and in turn, the way I understand it is that this NDA was for him specifically for the massage therapy. So
to give to the masseuse,
to provide to them, because there was an understanding or an awareness by the Texans or an individual within the Texans organization that he was getting his massage from all these people. He was out there
more than
what he was getting in terms of his body work.
And that would, to me, would only come because you're getting a little bit more, right? Because why would I just give you that to be used for a massage? If you're getting a massage, now perhaps I'm on the phone and I'm talking business and I need, you not to say the things that you hear. That's one thing.
That's one
perspective. If all I'm getting is a massage NDA, unless you see my penis, you see how big it is, how small it is, blah, 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 whatever that is, but I will tell you, like, what was it? This spring, when did the story break? Was it in the fall? Was it in the spring?
You talking
Probably
about originally?
Yeah.
I had to think back. Uncle Mo is the statistician, but it was connected to, it came out once he said he didn't want to play in Houston anymore. So he didn't play any of the 2021, 2022 season. So I'm inclined to think somewhere between during or toward the end of last season and or the off season last year, 2021, that this started to come out.
I just, like I said, that my first thoughts were, okay, girl, you trying to get some money. Okay, girl, you've been paid by the Texans.
Right.
Okay, but now it's like, so it's, the numbers are at a point where you cannot turn a blind eye to it anymore, right? Although we can, because the Cowboys will accept any and all misfits that there are. No lie. I mean, it's proven fact. We accept the misfits. But it's questionable. It really is. I think, like I said, when it was 20-some women, I'm like, somebody likes to get a little kinky with the massage,
Right.
Yeah, but and now all of these is like, is it a money thing? But if there are no
civil suit, so if they're involved in the civil suit, there's money at the end of the yellow brick road.
And I'm not gonna lie, my first thought was, who's paying y'all to put these cases forward? And that's so sad because I'm a woman, right? But to me, it's so many. Did y'all all get together? Did y'all have a meeting? What is it? I don't know.
How is it all of a sudden? I don't know. I think it goes back for me to just this accountability factor again, right? Like if as a team, you saw this peculiar behavior, you took enough interest to make sure that there was an NDA, then how at no point did you say like, hey, yo, you might want to get some counseling for this? Like,
right.
Something.
There you go, mental health, right?
Throw the ball. Just shut up and throw the ball. That's all we want you to do. We're gonna give you everything that we need you to keep you on the field, so you can shut up and throw the ball.
Yeah, and I think that's what is alarming, is that people are finding new ways to be sexual predators. And so I think, to your point, Akela, it is this line where we've been so jaded in our society of these like things where people come to a consensus and say, let's all get together and lie. Whether it be Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, now him, there's
Trey Songz.
Yeah, whether you think it's rooted, whatever. But I think, a lot of times, and unfortunately this is more in our culture than anywhere, the appearance of evil is what gets you outcast. And I think anybody else saying like, oh, I've had 66 masseuse, right? Like whatever profession or whatever. Like, I mean, honestly, in my life, I probably had like 30 different people do a massage, right?
We're not millionaire NFL professional athletes. If I got the right one, yeah, that's what a lot of the professional athletes say. I've had, they one particular said in his, you know, multi-year career, he had 5 people touch his body. You know, LeBron James has spent millions of dollars invested in his body. You know, going to the little, you know, chop shop around the corner when you are, you know, when you're the richest player ever, you know, in the NFL or in the history of the NFL, highest paid player ever, why would you go to the corner shop unless it got the corner shop come with that treat that you like?
With the happy ending, as his attorneys said. Like, what?
Yeah, I know I read something where the girl was like, well, he asked me to put my mouth on whatever. And I was just like, okay, yeah, this is definitely, but also like, is he the only one who's asked you that at this particular, you know, venue? Like, is this something that usually happens? Like, you know, so I don't know. It's crazy. I think
so at minimum, both of you believe there's more than meets the eye when it comes to this case. But then when it comes to, let's just say his suspension or punishment or whatever repercussions should be had related to football, are you for that or think that whatever happens in the court of law is what happens in the court of law?
I personally get so irritated when, you know, whatever the authority is starts to try to suspend people or make people make statements or whatever. If this person was doing this all along and you didn't suspend them then, now why are you, you know? And it's just this cancel culture mentality of like, okay, we can't be associated with the press that comes along with this. And it goes back to that, like, who do you defend then? Like, it's like, if this is your employee and you were passionate enough to give him an NDA and give him all this to make sure that he played, how now do you not say, like, no, hey, he's not suspended. Like, this is something that can be handled in the courts. And but so I don't know. It's hard. That's a hard one, I guess.
I'm curious to see what Cleveland's gonna do. I mean, because you accepted him on your team knowing all this stuff, and now more has come out. So what's real? What are you really going to do? Say, oh no, we don't want you to play this season.
Right.
Get out of here.
Please. Yeah. You know that's the last thing that they want to do, because Baker out. Baker gone. He's so far up in his feelings. He didn't even come to the little camp his high school do. My son participated in the camp associated with the high school Baker went to. And one of the selling points is Baker, you know, people like Baker, you know, Baker didn't come. He wasn't coming. But I guess for me, you know, I feel I have mixed feelings about it all when it comes to who should do what when, because you have a situation like Ray Rice where no charges were filed. He knocked his wife out in the elevator and his career was over. I'm not suggesting he shouldn't or should not have lost his career. It's just looking at what the law said, what happened on the field or with the team or with the league. Colin Kaepernick took a knee, cost him his career. And so DeSean Watson, at minimum, there is a mental, emotional health opportunity. Yeah. At minimum. Yeah. Is it extreme? Yeah. Is it if 66 massage therapists is true, and he had them sign NDAs, and that's true, there's an opportunity for him to talk to somebody about this. Yeah. Now, well, hold on, hear me out. Talk to somebody about this. Now, is he a predator? Is he sick in the head? Is he all these other things? I don't know. Beyond that, they didn't want to bring charges. Something said, the law said we are not bringing charges for any of this. Now, if they want to sue for money that was within their right, go ahead and pursue it. So for me, it doesn't seem equitable. There's something out here that just, it stinks. It doesn't look right. It doesn't smell right. But yet he's been rewarded with more money and everybody can't wait to see him. But Ray Rice's career got cut short. Colin Kaepernick, maybe the Raiders give him a chance, but at minimum it's been 5 years and he simply took a knee. So for me, there's something wrong in there. And as much as I like to be solution oriented in these conversations, that's not something that I have clarity on. Like, I don't know how you create that equity with that. DeSean Watson was not convicted of a crime, but neither was Ray Rice.
Nor Colin Kaepernick for that.
Correct.
Yeah.
My thing is this: if you are a sexual predator, right? If that's what it is, but I guess that's a mental thing, because if you wanted sex, if you wanted somebody to put their mouth on you, why not just go pay a sex worker to go do that?
Well, that's,
she can feel like she massaging you too. But
that's the question. That's the opportunity.
Pay it, and it's a transaction, and we move on.
Right. I think that's the part, that's the mental part, right? Because in your right mind, with this level of notoriety, money, or whatever, you would pursue a different pathway that's less culpable, so to speak, right? So that's the part that there is some mental disconnect, because if it was truly just about getting head, just to be, vulgar, then there's a lot of ways you could have did that.
I mean, Houston.
So much
Houston got spots. Just listen to a UGK album; they'll tell you where to go.
And
honestly, some of these places might be where UGK said to go. So, and that might be part of the problem. That might be why there's no criminal, whatever, because of the fact that it's like, come on, dog, like you got 15 other people that said that you did do it, right? Like so I don't know. There's definitely opportunity, and I'm like you, where I tote the line sometime, but as a person who's been an NFL or used to be an avid NFL supporter, like, they lost me after Michael Vick's situation, and not even that was on them necessarily, but just to me, you rock with a person that you rock with, right? And it's like, unless it is a situation where it is, you clearly see that this person, is causing harm, like Ray Rice or whatever, then I could see you disassociating. And you could say what you ever want to say about dogs versus people and what. But I think the NFL just does. And I have to remember, it's an economic institution at the end of the day.
There you go.
It's economic institution. It's their money. They can do what they want.
Yeah. And they're gonna do what's best for them. Like, you'll hear everybody who's interviewed in the Michael Vick situation say that they did not want to, that Michael Vick was a good person and they did not want to have him, or have him, off the team, or obviously he went to jail. But they also said, like, there was too much to lose. Like, people love dogs more than they love people.
A black man.
Exactly.
True statement.
And I lived in Philadelphia at the time, and I remember going to this strip club to watch a fight, because it was nowhere else we could watch the fight. So we went there, and on the sign it said, "No Michael Vick jerseys allowed." And I was like,
are you kidding me? In the strip club?
I was like, let me turn this on back around. And everybody I was with was like, "We're not going." No, I'm not going in there. That's stupid. Like, you have the nerve to tell me that and this was years after the fact. So you have the nerve to tell me I can't wear a Michael Vick jersey, but I can
wear Terrell Owens with his crying ass. Like, come on.
I can watch people take off.
T.O. still playing. T.O. still out there doing the thing. He in one of them, minor off spin NFL leagues.
That's my quarterback. Y'all gonna stop talking about my quarterback.
He was a Cowboy.
I know.
That happened. That was about Tony Romo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
He shouldn't have been crying about, okay, but nevertheless.
Right. That's a whole nother story.
good old
Yeah,
Romo. All right, so DeSean Watson, suffice to say, is complex. Natalie, you said you don't rock with the NFL. I think, I appreciate you sharing that because I don't know many people who once were, who aren't connected to Michael Vick. A lot of perspectives and emotions related to Vick. But, most I know started with Kaepernick. So I think it's interesting for you. It started with Vick, all connected, I believe. So thank you for sharing that. You do, however, watch the NBA. You have a team. Before we talk about your team, are you all keeping up with the playoffs?
Yes. I didn't watch the game last night. I'm like, the Mavericks aren't in it. Just tell me who won, whatever. It's
So
okay.
full disclosure, you all's teams is the Dallas Mavericks. Your team lost in the same round that my team lost in. And last night's game was the first game that I decided that I would care about. Well, it's only been two, but I didn't think I would care. First game, I was like, whatever. I was deep in my feelings. But it's NBA. We close to the real off season in terms of all is on is baseball and other sports. I get golf a few weekends, but it is not the same as football, basketball happening. So I said, let me just soak it in while I can. Natalie, have you been watching?
Yeah, so I probably was better when the Mavericks were playing about watching it. And honestly, the Mavericks aren't my team in as far as like growing up. Growing up, the Bulls were my team. But I live here. I love the energy and I love Jason Kidd. So it was just one of those things. And I like Luka too. So
I like Luka.
And Dirk was my boy too.
Dirk beat my heat. I got to take a notch out for that, but I do respect.
I remember because I had a T-shirt that said, "I'm a witness."
Hey.
I was going to the stadium.
Boo.
I was going to AAC to watch the game.
It's funny. My uncle is a big Heat fan, and he was just hoping. He was like, "Man, I can't wait till we face off NBA." I'm like, you're gonna be waiting a long time, bro.
I have a good friend here. We would have gone to Dallas Heat in Dallas had both teams made it. We got closer than y'all did, but needless to say, we didn't look great. It is what the best teams are playing each other. I really thought Golden State would run away with it, but it's definitely a series, and I hope for a game 7 just for the entertainment value. But Boston not playing with them boys. They are not playing with.
I'm rooting for Boston. And as I see them, I'm like, I think when I was in high school, like my favorite colors were purple and green. And I think I wanted a Celtics jersey just because it was green. Yeah. I could care less about anything else
about the team.
But I am rooting for the Celtics to win just because, and I like the Warriors, but because they whooped up on us, it's kind of sad and embarrassing just a little bit. Yeah, so I'm rooting for them.
I think like Carlton mentioned, like this season has just been a fun one, right? Like I think the past 2 years I will say, but I think overall sports kind of took this political whatever, and so it wasn't fun for me since like early 2000s or like it was in the 90s or whatever. But
when the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
was that the 90s or 80s?
When we was in
Natalie! Oh my gosh!
Elementary school is what you saying?
I remember, hold on, I was in Tampa because my family loves the Chiefs. I'm from Kansas City. I was in Tampa. We went to the NFL experience and we walking around this exhibit that has all the Super Bowl rings. And I'm recording and I'm like, I sent my friend Veronica, I was like, yo, it's only like 2 Cowboys rings in here. What y'all be so proud about? Like, what y'all be-
Hater. Because we are America's team. We're the #1 selling franchise team on everything. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Jerry know what he's doing. Now that's one thing I do have respect
He does.
for. He knows what he's doing. I'm like, this is the most losing team to be.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
And this is I ain't even trying to have shade. This was just literally empirical data that I was like,
Well, you know, I said elementary school, but Akela, we weren't in grade school. Now it wasn't
94, 95.
It was grade school.
No, I was
It was
15
in a grade.
years old.
you
I
had
was
a
15
grade.
years old.
You had a graded.
You were in a grade.
It wasn't college.
That's my point. It wasn't.
I was
You
a
were in a
sophomore.
grade.
I was a sophomore in high school.
Listen, I will tell you, I was a Cowboys fan when I moved to Philadelphia just because the Eagles hated Cowboys.
No, I mean they brought a casket when T.O. left. I'll never forget that. Yeah.
Listen, they were so treacherous with it that I was just like, yo, like y'all too mad. Like that's making me mad.
Big mad.
So I will say I got into the genius of Jerry Jones at that time because I'm like, yo, this man knows what he's doing.
You can sell it.
Yeah.
Sell water to a well, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And make them both rich.
Make them
Right.
Exactly.
We need that kind of ingenuity.
Where we got invited, Akela, after Shakira's birthday to the
Cowboy
Cowboys
Club, the Cowboy Club in Frisco.
Now that Super Bowl team, if you go to the Cowboy Club, it's a whole nother set of adventure with Michael Irvin and his playing around heyday. So how was the Cowboy Club experience?
Yeah, because I didn't go. How was it?
Well, that's why you didn't go. To me, it just, again, reminded me of Jerry's genius. Like when you come in, first of all, even the coffee tables are shaped in the form of like footballs, but very like modern, just classy, like, and then you go down this hall and all of the Sports Illustrated magazines that Cowboys players have been on the cover of, like just cover after cover after cover after cover. And again, I was asking them like, okay, did they win?
Not a long time ago.
I should have been there.
Yeah, you would have loved it. Then you know how when you go in the library and there's a huge dictionary at the start of the library, where there's this huge book of Cowboys just plays or whatever. Like literally the book is like, if you think of that movie when we were growing up where they like turn the pages of the book and you could jump in it, it was so big.
Yeah,
like that's how big the book was.
Wow.
I'm like, this man is genius. Like just little stuff. Like
I roll
but
emoji.
it was nice.
Whatever.
They wouldn't let you have your cell phone, so you couldn't take pictures or anything unless you went. And then they had like this little open space where apparently the training field, they let the high school teams play on.
At the start, because y'all were at the start, right?
It was above.
Yeah. Yeah, they do practice out there sometimes.
All right, so I got this question for you. Mavericks, Cowboys. Who wins the championship first?
Ooh, Mavericks.
Their next championship. Who wins their next championship?
All
first?
day,
Mavericks.
every year. I'm always gonna say the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl.
So do you just gonna continue to walk the green mile, whether you believe it or not, whether
I believe it.
that's
I believe it.
supported for you, the Cowboys getting it.
Now I hate we lost Amari Cooper. I hate that. Like, but yes, absolutely. Every year I'm saying we're going to the Super Bowl without fail.
Hey, like Houseway.
You know,
Don't worry about it. We got good players.
Don't worry
Got
about
good
it.
players.
Rewind a few minutes, rewind this episode a few minutes back, and I said we all could benefit from somebody to talk to. And if you go into every season believing now, it's
Yeah.
one thing if you
definition.
just say it, you know, if you trying to manifest it and law of attraction it, I give you your space. But if you believe like the sky is blue, that the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl,
Absolutely.
What you say if Ted Cruz put on if he get dressed every day, so you get dressed every day.
you get dressed every day. You put on clothes every
Let me tell
day.
you, I'm not gonna lie. I got.
That's what you got.
Yeah, every day with my star. You know, yeah, we winning.
That's that loyalty.
Dak and
Is this
yeah.
a cry for help? Should me and
I was
Natalie talk
gonna say
offline?
Community accountability.
Do we need to talk
I
offline?
would just tell y'all, I appreciate y'all. However, when we are going to the Super Bowl, I will call y'all and say, remember this conversation.
We probably
All right.
won't have regular cell phones.
Let's have
We
a-
probably-
You know, I'm a
we
Giants
probably have
fan.
jetpacks back then.
What you say?
That's the worst. She's
I
talking
said,
about we gonna have
probably had
jetpacks
by
that
then.
in.
You could just call
I'm a
them,
Giants
like,
fan. Our future, you know, is no more bright. Let me say that. I ain't gonna claim it's worse, but it's no more bright. But I'm aware of that. I'm excited about the season just to see my team and see what happens. But that's okay. Me and Natalie we gonna talk offline. We gonna find you.
Y'all do that. Y'all do that. And then when y'all
We'll
when we
find
get
you the
to
support that
this
you need.
time come February around your birthday, Carlton, we gonna see who's in the Super Bowl.
Man, that'll be the
And then
worst
at-
birthday
then at-
gift ever.
I'm sure it would be
Take it
being
back.
a Giants fan.
Take it back.
And you don't even have to worry about getting that gift.
Give me
So
give
don't
me the
even
gift
worry about it.
receipt. I don't want it.
I don't think you're gonna get it. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry. But at that point, we can officially commit you and officially bring you into the counseling sessions. Keisha.
Yes.
I'll take it at that point, the day after the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Wherever we are, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, like, if it's something to be liked, subscribe, if it's something to be subscribed to, and follow. That's how we grow our reach. It's how we grow our brand.